First up on the programme tonight, are children under too much pressure these days, from exams to peer pressure? Their appearance, of course. We had this issue, well, I did when I was younger as well, although I didn't have things like makeup and selfies to worry about. And of course, then that leads to the possible dangers of social media. It seems that sometimes kids just aren't getting the chance to be kids. I've been talking to Dr. Raj, who is a child health specialist.
It's coming from lots of different angles. So research that's recently been conducted by Fruit Shoot shows that 80% of parents feel like there is too much pressure for their kids. And that's coming from society's expectations, achieving academically, fitting in with their peers, and even, things like social media is contributing to all of that. It's not one thing that kids are experiencing. They're growing up in an increasingly pressurized world, and the side effect of that, or the offshoot of that, is that sometimes you can get lost in all of that and forget who you are.
Because it's these expectations from society that even as adults, I think we're starting to feel more. Social media has a real job to play there in terms of when we see what other people are doing, if it's fitness, if it's their physical appearance, if it's how much they're enjoying their downtime, we're always comparing ourselves to someone that's on the outside, their life looks so much better.
That's it. And I think we need to remember that the online world is a filtered world. It is not real life. It can put lots of extra expectations on people. So it's even more important, I think, when you're growing up in a world like that, that you are able to differentiate real life from online life, and also that you have a chance and a space to develop your own individuality. And part of that is finding something that you enjoy doing or that you're good at that helps you define who you are and gives you, your place in the world, and being able to explore and engage in whatever activity it might be or whatever hobby or quirk it might be. Find your interest, find your passion, and let's all celebrate it together so that it makes it a really positive experience for everyone.
What responsibility, Dr. Raj, do the likes of our parents or just adults in general, maybe it's grandparents, in terms of allowing our children to mature too quickly? So this is a very basic example, but young girls wearing a lot of makeup and the way they dress, even though they might only be 13 or 14.
It's we are growing up in a very different world to our parents and our grandparents and our great-grandparents. So things are changing. So what you may have considered inappropriate once upon a time may be very different right now. I think it doesn't really matter what young people are doing necessarily. It's about their understanding of what it means. And as long as they're able to understand what it is and when to ask for help if they're ever in trouble, that's the important.
Dispone ahora de 1 minuto para comprobar sus respuestas.
Extract 1.
No. I'd like to very much to be able to be a better musician. I like to play. I'm a very poor guitar player, and I like to plonk away on the piano. I'd like very much to be a better musician, but I think just for my pleasure, or to be able to play music with other people, but not really to record it. I'm not sure that I really have a voice, if you like, or a sound of my own, or I don't know why I would be doing it. I don't want to do it just to have an album. I'm not interested. But I think if you felt like this is my music and people should hear it, then I can understand.
Right.
But I wouldn't hold your breath. You never know. I don't know. I don't think so.
Extract 2.
Every production is different from the last. That's the truth of it. That's what's kind of brilliant about making films. Is you never really have the same experience twice. I mean, the thing that has more effect, I suppose, is budget. The amount of money behind the film has a direct impact on how it feels on set. The other difference is accents. If you're is playing an American as opposed to playing in my own accent, but it's very rare that I would play in my own accent anyway. Sometimes I do.
Extract 3.
No, I quite liked it. I mean, I quite liked it. It was interesting because I didn't have. Usually, I have a dialect coach, and I didn't have one on this because I couldn't afford one. So I worked with a dialect coach, and then I was on my own. And it's very scary when you don't. A dialect. It's a very interesting relationship with a dialect coach because you know that one person is in charge of your accent, and if they hear something that's wrong, they'll come in quietly and tell you, and they disappear again. But without one, it means the director's giving you dialect notes, and the grip gives you dialect notes, and your other actors are going, "Oh, that sounded a bit." Suddenly, everybody, and you just go. You feel terribly at sea. It's horrible.
Extract 4.
When we came home, we had this sense of human beings being really supportive of one another. We really did. We think of we have a tendency in Europe and America to think that this is what life is like. You know, that our way of life is the way of life, and our journeys took us really outside of that, and we met people who live a completely different way of different kind of existence in the nomadic people in Mongolia or the Highlanders in Ethiopia. You know, people have got really no concept of what our life is like. And so their kindness and the people who have the least seem to be the most generous.
Extract 5.
I've always ridden bikes since I was 18, 19. I've ridden motorcycles, and it's my one main passion and hobby. And I collect. I've got a small collection of old motorcycles, and I like them as objects, and I like them as a means of transportation. I enjoy riding bikes very much. So I set about organising a trip with my friend Charlie Boorman, and we put a team together so that we could document it and film it.
Dispone ahora de 1 minuto para comprobar sus respuestas.